against the corruption of President Marcos na nagnakaw siya sa taong bayan. Pero natatakot sila at the time, or at least it appeared, that since the country was divided between the opposition and the Marcos loyalists, baka magkagulo. So America also decided na it would be best to help Mrs. Aquino na to litigate or to put on trial President Marcos kasi andun na siya sa Honolulu, doon na lang siya litisin. So they had to look for a law. Anong American law ang my hometown in Nawag? Kasi while he is there is the threat na baka dumating yung US Marines, baka bombahin sila, baka pumasok yung mga tao from EDSA, and of course, to protect the family, the first family that they were there, and babies, yung mga bata pa yan sila, Borgie. So dun nga, Marcos decided na dalahin siya sa Lawag. But then, of course, at about 7:30 that evening of February 25, pinala siya sa Clark Air Base para magpahinga daw kasi 7:30 na ng gabi nung lumipad sila by helicopter to Clark. Well, about early morning, 3 or 4 o'clock. Ito na yung record ng kanyang aide-de-camp. This you can read from the book of Colonel Arovisa because he wrote about this in his book From Malacanang to Makiki. Makiki is the place in Honolulu where they were exiled. Pero sinulat nga ni aide-de-camp ni President Marcos na nung nasa Clark Air Base sila, early morning, 3 or 4 o'clock, ginising sila, dinisarmahan sila kasi sila yung presidential security group protecting President Marcos and the family. So dinisarmahan sila at sinabihan sila that they're going to be flown out of Clark Air Base, and for this rather hilarious reason, kasi daw yung Clark Air Base kung nasaan si President Marcos ay napaligiran na ng NPA. So would you believe that? But that's exactly what was told to President Marcos, and it is written by his own aide-de-camp that they were surrounded. And President Marcos also executed an affidavit regarding that they were wakened at about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they were told that they had to be flown out of Clark Air Base because Clark was surrounded by the NPA, by the communists that would want to kill him. Can you imagine? The biggest military air base in our country, held by American troops and soldiers and officials, mapapaligiran ng NPA. Oh my goodness. Anyway, nung nilipad na sila out of Clark Air Base, and they were expecting President Marcos, the family, and the rest of those that were fetched by American vehicles, sila Mr. Cojuangco, the family of General Bear, and several others, including the staff of President Marcos. So when they were already airborne, doon na nga nagtaka si Mrs. Marcos kasi malapit lang naman po aeroplano ang Lawag Airport. Pero parang medyo matagal na silang lumilipad. So tinatanong niya sa piloto, bakit ang tagal na hindi pa sila nagla-landing? Yung pala, they were already being brought to Guam. And of course, the rest is history. And so what happened? Mrs. Aquino entered Malacanang, and that was when she assumed the office of the presidency. So that answers your question. So now we ask, anong nangyari nung naging presidente na siya? Well, she had her own revolutionary government, although they did not want to call it that. So nag-appoint na siya ng kanyang mga members of the cabinet. Tapos anong ginawa niya? Ang unang ginawa niya ay pinatanggal niya lahat ng mga elected officials. Elected officials meaning hindi na nag-convene ang parliament. Lahat ng mga governors, mayors, yung mga elected officials sa local government, tinanggal niya. Tapos nag-appoint siya ng mga OIC, officers in charge. Kaya yung mga tao na yan, sila na ngayon ang umunlad from 1986. Yan sila Binay, etc. Hindi ko nasasabihin pa yung mga iba. So that was how she assumed the office of the presidency. And the first thing she did was to sign an executive order creating an office that will sequester all the properties known to belong to the Marcoses. Ang kanyang unang statement doon sa kanyang executive order, whereas the Marcoses as a family, associates, and friends amassed, nagkaroon sila ng maraming wealth from the Filipino people. So doon pa lang sa kanyang statement na yun, executive order number 1, sinabi na nagnakaw na sa taong bayan without the benefit of either due process or the law. My classmate, our valedictorian in the College of San Beda, College of Law, and also a bar top matcher, mentioned to me that that is considered a bill of attainder. Yun na nga, na talagang dun mismo sa sinulat niya ay andun na rin yung the accusation. Parang ganun na. So, yeah, they had Executive Order number 1, and then number 2, number 12, number 12A. Apat yan na executive orders na pinirmahan ni Mrs. Aquino kung saan, yun na nga, lahat ng suspected or alleged or nababalitaan na belonging to the Marcoses, yan na, kukunin yan ng PCGG, Presidential Commission on Good Governance. So ngayon, babalik tayo dun sa mga nagtanong, kaya nga tinanong nila anong nangyari pagkatapos nung naging presidente na si Mrs. Aquino. So yun, nasabi ko na nga na tinanggal niya yung mga associated with Marcos, hindi lang sa mga local government units, pero sa mga government offices din, pati sa judiciary din. Anybody na inappoint ni Marcos, tanggal yan. Tapos yung mga sa military, kasi karamihan nga dyan, mga sinasabing Ilocano, lahat pinadala sa Mindanao, also kung sa mga tinatawag na battle zones doon. Tapos there was this term they used at the time, the Yellow Army, na sila naman ang nag-take over ng military at the time. So ganun ang first actions na, you know, and there was so much in media na kinargahan na nila, pinalaki na nila yung Executive Order number 1 na sinabi nga na ang daming ninakaw ni Marcos from the Filipino people. Pero kasi si Marcos napadpad na ng Honolulu, doon na siya ang nilipad, hindi nila, yan, this is the other question. Bakit hindi nila kinasuhan si President Marcos dito sa Pilipinas? That's a good question. So yan, questions that need answers. Why did they not file the cases against President Marcos? Unang-una, anong case ang kanilang ipapile? Graft and corruption. So kailangan nila ng mga ebidensya against the corruption of President Marcos na nagnakaw siya sa taong bayan. Pero natatakot sila at the time, or at least it appeared, that since the country was divided between the opposition and the Marcos loyalists, baka magkagulo. So America also decided na it would be best to help Mrs. Aquino na to litigate or to put on trial President Marcos kasi andun na siya sa Honolulu, doon na lang siya litisin. So they had to look for a law. Anong American law ang na-violate ni Marcos para kasuhan siya sa Amerika? You know, meron ba siyang Amerikanong pinatay? Meron ba siyang Amerikanong ninakawan? Meron, you know, it had to be an American law so that he would be criminally indicted in America. So they found the law. It is called the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act Law. Ulitin ko para maintindihan mabuti ang racketeering influenced and corrupt organization. So they accused Marcos of running the Philippine government as a racketeering syndicate and a corrupt organization. And that is what he violated kasi ninakaw niya ang pera ng Pilipino. That's the RICO case. Now, can you imagine as a Filipino, regardless of what your political persuasion would be, that you would accept a foreign country accusing your government, kahit na hindi mo gusto si Marcos, accusing your government to be a racketeering influence and corrupt organization. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung buong gobyerno ni Marcos, yan ang racketeering organization na yan. Parang yung, you know, the author of that law, na-interview ko yan sa New York. Sabi niya, nung sinusulat na yung batas na yan, para yan dun sa mga mafiosi, mga mafia, the underworld, the sleazy Balzacian underworld, na ang hirap hulihin itong mga nagsasmuggle, involved in prostitution, yung mga involved in, yan, sa smuggling at lahat na yan, lahat ng illicit, illegal, underground crimes, na protektado sila kasi bayad nila ang police, bayad nila ang FBI, bayad nila lahat yun. Kaya nga, racketeering influence and corrupt organization. And kung sila nakatira halimbawa sa isang building, kasi sindikato, so pati yung doorman, pati yung driver, are part of the criminal syndicate. Parang the crime of one is the crime of all. Kasi yung kanilang kapo-di-kapo, yung kanilang godfather doon na kriminal, lahat na kasama sa organization yun. Yun ang kanilang batas na sinabi ni Marcos na kanyang na-violate, kaya pwede siyang litisin sa Amerika. Kasi merong 4 na real estate properties sa New York na sinabi nilang binili ni Marcos at yung pera ay galing sa pagnakaw sa taong bayan ng Pilipinas. So yun ang RICO case. Kaya isipin ninyo, hindi siya nilitis dito sa Pilipinas, naganap sila ng batas sa Amerika na supposedly na-violate ni Marcos at doon siya kinasuhan. Yun ang RICO case. Yung unang case na final nila ay sa LA. Kasi meron din tayong nabili din ang ating pamahalaan na isang building dun sa, again, a very good location in San Francisco. Those of you who may have traveled there, or live there, you know where Union Square is. So meron tayong Philippine building doon na ginagamit na consulate and used also by other offices, the Philippine Airlines and several Filipino offices. Plus, yung ibang spaces doon pinaparentahan. So yun, sinasabi din na nakaw. But very clearly, yung binili ng Philippine government because as now being mentioned, may resibo yun, pagbili. What happened to that building? That's the question again. Pinagbili ng GSIS manager. At the time, GSIS manager ni Mrs. Aquino, yung naging mayor din ng Quezon City after GSIS. Binenta niya. Why? What is the reason for selling it? Kasi gobyerno na ng Pilipinas anyway. So ano nangyari sa RICO case din sa LA? Ang nangyari doon ay dinismiss yung kaso kasi nga walang ebidensya doon sa LA. Wala silang makitang evidence na nagnakaw yung pera ay ninakaw sa Pilipinas. Ang kanilang present sa case, sa korte doon, Judge Mariana Felser, ay mga newspaper clippings, yung mga headlines ng Inquirer, lahat ng mga dyaryo ng mga oligarchs, lahat yun ang present nila. And there was a witness that testified na authentic yung mga nakasulat doon sa dyaryo, yung sa mga headlines at lahat na yun, mga editorial, mga opinion, nagnakaw si Marcos, ganito kadaming ninakaw niya, lahat-lahat. Dinismiss because the newspaper reports, sabi ng korte. So nag-appeal ang mga abogado na hinire ng Philippine government because wala naman tayong abogado that could appear in the American court. So nag-hire ng mga American lawyers dun sa kaso na yan. You must remember, one of those that were supplying all of this was Covito Salonga kasi siya yung chairman ng PCGG. Plus, of course, the entire cabinet and the entire government of Mrs. Aquino. So wala silang mapresenta na evidence ng nakaw. Kaya dinismiss yung kaso.
Si Marcos, so that I will pin you next to si Marcos. Ay, nakuman na, balita.
你这个糟老头子坏得很。
7:30 na ng gabi nung lumipad sila by helicopter to Clark. Well, about early morning, 3 or 4 o'clock. Ito na yung record ng kanyang aide-de-camp. This you can read from the book of Colonel Arawisa because he wrote about this in his book From Malacanang to Makiki. Makiki is the place in Honolulu where they were exiled. Pero sinulat nga ni aide-de-camp ni President Marcos na nung nasa Clark Air Base sila, early morning, 3 or 4 o'clock, ginising sila, dinisarmahan sila kasi sila yung presidential security group protecting President Marcos and the family. So dinisarmahan sila at sinabihan sila that they're going to be flown out of Clark Air Base and for this rather hilarious reason. Kasi daw yung Clark Air Base kung nasaan si President Marcos ay napaligiran na ng NPA. So would you believe that? But that's exactly what was told to President Marcos, and it is written by his own aide-de-camp that they were surrounded. And President Marcos also executed an affidavit regarding that they were wakened at about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they were told that they had to be flown out of Clark Air Base because Clark was surrounded by the NPA, by the communists that would want to kill him. Can you imagine? The biggest military air base in our country, held by American troops and soldiers and officials, mapapaligiran ng NPA. Oh my goodness. Anyway, nung nilipad na sila out of Clark Air Base and they were expecting President Marcos, the family, and the rest of those that were fetched by American vehicles, sila Mr. Cojuangco, the family of General Bear, and several others, including the staff of President Marcos, So when they were already airborne, doon na nga nagtaka si Mrs. Marcos kasi malapit lang naman po aeroplano ang Lawag Airport. Pero parang medyo matagal na silang lumilipad. So tinatanong niya sa piloto, bakit ang tagal na hindi pa sila nagla-landing? Yung pala, they were already being brought to Guam. And of course, the rest is history. And so what happened, Mrs. Aquino entered Malacanang, and that was when she assumed the office of the presidency. So that answers your question. So now we ask, anong nangyari nung naging presidente na siya? Well, she had her own revolutionary government, although they did not want to call it that. So nag-appoint na siya ng kanyang mga members of the cabinet. Tapos anong ginawa niya? Ang unang ginawa niya ay tinatanggal niya lahat ng mga elected officials. Elected officials meaning hindi na nag-convene ang parliament. Lahat ng mga governors, mayors, yung mga elected officials sa local government, tinanggal niya. Tapos nag-appoint siya ng mga OIC, officers in charge. Kaya yan, yung mga tao na yan, sila na ngayon ang umunlad from 1986. Yan sila Binay, etc. Hindi ko nasasabihin pa yung mga iba. So that was how she assumed the office of the presidency. And the first thing she did was to sign an executive order creating an office that will sequester all the properties known to belong to the Marcoses. Ang kanyang unang statement doon sa kanyang executive order, whereas the Marcoses as a family, associates, and friends amassed, nagkaroon sila ng maraming wealth from the Filipino people. So doon pa lang sa kanyang statement na yon, executive order number 1, sinabi na nagnakaw na sa taong bayan without the benefit of either due process or the law. My classmate, our valedictorian in the College of San Beda, College of Law, and also a bar top notcher, mentioned to me that is considered a bill of attainder. Yun na nga, na talagang dun mismo sa sinulat na ay andun na rin yung the accusation. Parang ganun na. So, yeah, we had executive order number 1, and then number 2, number 12, number 12A. Apat yan na executive orders na pinirmahan ni Mrs. Aquino kung saan, yun na nga, lahat ng suspected or alleged or nababalitaan na belonging to the Marcoses, yan na kukunin yan ng PCGG, Presidential Commission on Good Governance. So ngayon, babalik tayo dun sa mga nagtanong, kaya nga tinanong nila anong nangyari pagkatapos nung naging presidente na si Mrs. Aquino. So yun, nasabi ko na nga na tinanggal niya yung mga associated with Marcos, hindi lang sa mga local government units, pero sa mga government offices din, pati sa judiciary din. Anybody na in-appoint ni Marcos, tanggal yan. Tapos yung mga sa military, kasi karamihan nga dyan, mga sinasabing Ilocano, lahat pinadala sa Mindanao, also kung sa mga tinatawag na battle zones doon. Tapos there was this term they used at the time, the Yellow Army, na sila naman ang nag-take over ng military at the time. So ganun ang first actions na, and there was so much in media na kinargahan na nila, pinalaki na nila yung executive order number 1 na sinabi nga na ang daming ninakaw ni Marcos from the Filipino people. Pero kasi si Marcos napadpad na ng Honolulu, doon na siya ang nilipad. Hindi nila, this is the other question. Bakit hindi nila kinasuhan si President Marcos dito sa Pilipinas? That's a good question. So questions that need answers. Why did they not file the cases against President Marcos? Unang-una, anong case ang kanilang ina-file? Graft and corruption. So kailangan nila ng mga ebidensya against the corruption of President Marcos na nagnakaw siya sa taong bayan. Pero natatakot sila at the time, or at least it appeared, that since the country was divided between the opposition and the Marcos loyalists, baka magkagulo. So America also decided na it would be best to help Mrs. Aquino na to litigate or to put on trial President Marcos kasi andun na siya sa Honolulu, doon na lang siya litisin. So they had to look for a law. Anong American law ang na-violate ni Marcos para kasuhan siya sa Amerika? Meron ba siyang Amerikanong pinatay? Meron ba siyang Amerikanong ninakawan? It had to be an American law so that he would be criminally indicted in America. So they found the law. It is called the Racketeering Influence and Corrupt Organization Act Law. Ulitin ko para maintindihan mabuti ang racketeering influence and corrupt organization.
Tingnan ko
So
kung Marcos,
they
hindi
accused
ba
Marcos of running the Philippine government as a racketeering syndicate and a corrupt organization. And that is what he violated kasi ninakaw niya ang pera ng Pilipino. That's the RICO case. Now, can you imagine as a Filipino, regardless of what your political persuasion would be, that you would accept a foreign country accusing your government, kahit na hindi mo gusto si Marcos, accusing your government to be
Hindi ka pa rin
a racketeering influence and corrupt organization. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, yung buong gobyerno ni Marcos, yan ang racketeering organization na yan. Parang yung, the author of that law, na-interview ko yan sa New York. Sabi niya, nung sinusulat na yung batas na yan, para yan dun sa mga mafiosi, mga mafia, the underworld, the sleazy Balzacian underworld, na ang hirap hulihin itong mga nagsasmuggle, involved in prostitution, yung mga involved in, sa smuggling at lahat na yan, lahat ng illicit, illegal, underground crimes, na protektado sila kasi bayad nila ang pulis, bayad nila ang FBI, bayad nila lahat yun. Kaya nga, racketeering influence and corrupt organization. And kung sila nakatira halimbawa sa isang building, kasi sindikato, so pati yung doorman, pati yung driver, are part of the criminal syndicate. Parang the crime of one is the crime of all. Kasi yung kanilang kapo-di-kapo, yung kanilang godfather doon na kriminal, lahat na kasama sa organization yun. Yun ang kanilang batas na sinabi ni Marcos na kanyang na-violate, kaya pwede siyang litisin sa Amerika. Kasi merong 4 na real estate properties sa New York na sinabi nilang binili ni Marcos at yung pera ay galing sa pagnakaw sa taong bayan ng Pilipinas. So yun ang RICO case. Kaya isipin ninyo, hindi siya nilitis dito sa Pilipinas, naghanap sila ng batas sa Amerika na supposedly na-violate ni Marcos at doon siya kinasuhan. Yun ang RICO case. Yung unang case na final nila ay sa LA. Kasi meron doon tayong nabili din ang ating pamahalaan na isang building doon sa, again, a very good location in San Francisco. Those of you who may have traveled there, or live there, you know where Union Square is. So meron tayong Philippine building doon na ginagamit na consulate and used also by other offices, the Philippine Airlines and several Filipino offices. Plus, yung ibang spaces doon pinaparentahan. So yun, sinasabi din na nakaw. But very clearly, yun binili ng Philippine government because as now being mentioned, may resibo yun pagbili. What happened to that building? That's the question again. Pinagbili ng GSIS manager. Yun, at the time, GSIS manager ni Mrs. Aquino, yung naging mayor din ng Quezon City after GSIS. Binenta niya. Why? What is the reason for selling it? Kasi gobyerno na ng Pilipinas. Anyway, so ano nangyari sa RICO case din sa LA? Ang nangyari doon ay dinismiss yung kaso kasi nga walang ebidensya doon sa LA. Wala silang makitang evidence na nagnakaw yung pera ay ninakaw sa Pilipinas. Ang kanilang present sa case, sa korte doon, kay Judge Mariana Felser, ay mga newspaper clippings, yung mga headlines ng Inquirer, lahat ng mga dyaryo ng mga oligarchs, lahat yun ang present nila. And there was a witness that testified na authentic yung mga nakasulat doon sa dyaryo, yung sa mga headlines at lahat na yun, mga editorial, mga opinion, nagnakaw si Marcos, ganito kadaming ninakaw niya lahat-lahat. Dismiss because the newspaper reports, sabi ng korte. So nag-appeal ang mga abogado na hinire ng Philippine government because wala naman tayong abogado that could appear in the American court. So nag-hire ng mga American lawyers dun sa kaso na yan. You must remember, one of those that were supplying all of this was Covito Salonga kasi siya yung chairman ng PCGG. Plus, of course, the entire cabinet and the entire government of Mrs. Aquino. So wala silang mapresenta na evidence ng nakaw. Kaya dinismiss yung kaso.
Wonderful, spectacular. Hanap tayo ng ibang Ito pala. 12 minutes pa din.
Dahil ikaw may-ari, diktador ka pagka ganon. Inuulit ko, pag ganon ang proseso, diktador ka. Dun sa 35 years sa ating broadcast,
Hanap tayo ng iba. Kini. 23 minutes.
Isang madre ang nagpapatay kay Corporal Enercita Lopez alias Kadori. At ang madre na ito,
Tungkol po sa
gusto rin niya na ako ay mamatay. Magandang umaga mga kaibigan. I am Brigadier General Johnny Macanas, Armed Forces of the Philippines, retired, the Vlogging General. Welcome po sa aking channel. Pagpapatuloy ko ngayon ang sequel 2 sa kwento sa buhay ni Kadore. Yung kanyang mga anak, darating ang panahon, makikita nyo, ma-interview ko at malalaman nyo kung ano ang nangyari sa kanyang mga anak. So, itong sequel 2, part 1 sa buhay ni Kadore, ito lang muna yung madre na nagpapatay sa kanya at gusto rin akong patayin ng madre na yun. Okay, I'd like to make this clear. Hindi kami against sa simbahan dahil kami, lumaki kaming Romano Katoliko. Ang pundasyon ko sa paniniwala sa Diyos ay galing sa mga pare. Ang aking misis, na-train siya ng mga madre mula sa kinder, elementary, and high school. At dala niya yon, yung training na yon na ipasa sa aming mga anak. Kaya wala kaming problema sa mga bata dahil sa training galing sa mga madre. Okay. Marami akong mga pari na mga kaibigan, lalo na sa Mindoro, nung nasa ako doon. And then, yung bishop sa Oriental Mindoro, Bishop Kahandig, itinuring niya akong para niyang sariling anak. Salamat po, Bishop Kahandig. Again, sa Calapan City, mga best friends namin, mga St. Benedictine Sisters of Calapan City. Gustong-gusto naming mamasyal dyan sa St. Benedictine na kumbento pagkatapos ng pandemic. Okay. So, sino itong madre na ito na nagpapatay kay Kadori at gusto rin niya akong ipapatay? Ang pangalan po niya si Sister Mary Jan. Huwag ko na lang banggitin yung pangalan ha. If you want to know the real name, ikuan niyo ako sa private message. Si Sister Mary Jan. So, malala niyo yung una kong encounter, March 29, 1985, na nandun din si Dory, na may mga madre na kasama sana doon na mamamatay kung pumutok lang yung bala ng basuka. Kasama na doon si Sister Mary Jan. So niligtas siya ng Panginoon, hindi pumutok yung bomba. Naligtas siya. Okay. Hindi ko alam, nakasama pala doon. Later on ko na lang nalaman kay Kadori. Then first na meeting namin kay Sister Mary Jan, doon sa detachment namin sa Pilpak kung saan bumili yung misis ko ng Magnolia ice cream para sa aming mga anak. Na-meet ko, nagpunta ako sa kumbento ni Sister Mary Jan kasi parang may nagreklamo sa isang tribal leader sa area na namin, CHDF Capgo. Ako ang humarap kay Sister Mary Jan at ako ang humingi ng patawad Yun ang first meeting namin. Okay, so maganda pa yung first meeting namin, yung March 29 encounter, hindi kami personal nagkita. Second meeting namin, ito na yung nireklamo na kapgo namin or CHDF. So, later on, from Pilpak, si Sister Mary Jan lumipat sa Barangay Balit, San Luis, Agusan del Sur, kung saan doon namatay si Kadori. Doon siya pinatay. So, itong Barangay Balit, naging stronghold ng communist movement sa Agusan Sur. Walang makakapasok ng mga sundalo dyan. Anino pa lang ng sundalo, magreklamo na ang mga tao through the agitation ni Sister Mary Jan. Ay, alis ka agad ang tropa kasi nga, irereklamo na sa human rights, sa media, walang makakapagtagal na sundalo dito sa Barangay Balit. Okay. So, naging untouchable si Sister Jan sa Barangay Balit for so many years. Kahit alam na ng military circles na siya involved sa communist movement. Later on, nalaman ko kay Dory at ibang mga nag-surrender na NPA na siya full-time Communist Party member. Takot kami noon, takot ang AFP na pasukin ng Balit kasi para mahirap banggahin ang simbahan kasi she represents the church. So, ganun. Kaya lang nung namatay si Kadori, Dory is my best friend. Parang attached ako sa kanya. Dumating ako sa punto na laban na lang kung laban. Kinalimutan ko na ang aking military career. Bahalang marilib ako, basta pinasok ko na ang Barangay Balit. Okay. So pumasok ako sa Barangay Balit, yung stronghold ni Sister Mary Jan, stronghold ng communist movement, hindi para mag-operate combat operation. Kasi wala kang makikitang armado doon. Nakatago lahat. Ang approach ko doon is, para ma-win over yung mga tao, nagpatay ko yung minang pabahay. Kagaya ng ginawa namin ni Kadori, yung mga naunang nag-surrender, pabahay lang, nagpapatay kami ng pabahay, livelihood, para mahikayat ang ibang tao na mag-surrender, ang ibang rebelde. So, pumasok ako sa Barangay Balit, hindi armas ang aming dala, kundi mga martilyo, pako. At doon, nakakita kami ng butas. Ano yung butas? Merong isang leader, parang situ leader na disgruntled na kay Sister Mary Jan. Doon kami ngayon. Inupuera namin ng tulong. Pumayag ang situ leader. Nagpatayo kami ang kanyang bahay. Mamaya, yung may mga relatives tong situ leader, nagpatayo rin ng pabahay. Yun, nagsimula ang giyera sa pagpapatay ng bahay. Nung marami ng mga tao na lalapit sa amin para mapatay ng bahay, si Sister Mary Jan, nagpasimula rin siya ng pabahay. Kaya lang, talo siya. Kasi kami, ang dami naming resources. Malapit yung Agusa River, daming kahoy na anod. Nako, malalaki yung babahay na pinapatayo ko, sa kanila maliliit. So, magreklamo ang mga natatanggap na bahay yung galing kay Sister Mary Jan dahil maliit. So, to a point na kung sa baseball pa, softball, naka first base, second base na kami. Dahil dumadami na yung supporter ng military. Nirereklamo kami ni Sister Mary Jan na dapat paalisin. No, pagdating sa munisipyo, sa media, pagdating doon na, sabi nila, bakit nyo paalisin si Colonel Macanas na nagpapatay ng pabahay? Wala naman silang ginagawang masama. Walang magawa si Sister Mary Jan, kundi doon tuloy ang aming pabahay. Kasi nga, wala kaming ginagawang masama. So hindi nila kami napalis. Tuloy-tuloy ang pagpagawa ng bahay. Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-win over sa mga tao doon. Halos nahati na. Then ito na, yung final blow. Kafgo. Kailangan malagyan ng kafgo. Kasi nung una na wala pa kami dyan, walang kafgo. Nako, in out ang mga rebelde pumapasok sa Barangay Balit. Yung mga sakop ng situ leader, pumayag na nagkafgo. After training, nagpatayo na kami ng detachment sa sentro mismo ng Barangay Balit. Yun na, naalarma na ang communist movement sa Agusan, naalarma Sister Jan, something must be done para ma-stop yun kasi may kafgo na eh. So anong ginawa ni Sister Jan? Isinumbong ako sa mga bishops. So ang mga bishop, madre nila yung nagsumbong, naniwala. So ang ginawa ng mga bishop, pinaabot nila kay President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo ang ginagawa ni Colonel Macanas na panggugulo sa barangay Balit. So dahil bishops ang nagsumbong kay President Jeme, ay pinaano niya kagad, inorderan niya ang National Security Advisor, Honorable Norberto Gonzales. Inorderan siya ng Jeme na i-work out mo ito, matanggal si Colonel Macanas doon sa Agusan Sur. So ang security advisor, tinawagan niya ang Chief of Staff. Nako, si General Abaya, kilala niya ako. Tinyenti pa lang ako, nagsama na kami sa Agusan. Hanggang itong ginagawa ko as battalion commander, kilala na, well known na yung ginagawa ko. It's a soft approach, winning over the enemy without firing a single shot. Nagsusurrender na. Bahay na. Sabi daw ni General Abaya kay Secretary Gonzales, Sir, ang hirap yung sinasabi mong i-relieve si Colonel Macanas doon. Halos siya na lang ang mangilan-ilan ng mga opisyal natin na lumalaban ng gusto harapan sa mga komunista. What will happen kung i-relieve natin siya? Malolo moral ang mga lumalaban. In short, ayaw ni General Abaya ang Chief of Staff. So, nasyak si Secretary Gonzales. Bumaba siya, pumunta na sa Mindanao. Kinausap niya ang aming division commander, si Major General Samuel Bagasin. The same. Ganon ang sabi ni General Bagasin. And then, bumaba pa ulit si Secretary Gonzales doon na sa area. Nag-interview siya doon, nalaman niya ang katotohanan. Okay. Bumalik Secretary Gonzales kay President Jeme. Nireport niya ang kanyang finding. Ito na. Believe ako kay President Jeme. I-balance niya. Paano niya mapagbigyan ng mga bishop na hindi naman maapektuhan ang moral ng AAP fighting the communists. Nako, nagsakripisyo ang presidente. Nagsakay siya ng helicopter. Malayong lugar. Umuulan pa by that time. Siguro mga 2005 na. Mga January or February. January. Ting ulan. Mahirap. Nang dahil sa ulan, hindi nakalipad ang kanyang chopper, nagbaylan. I think from Butuan City going to San Luis, ang layo nun, nagbaylan siya just to pagharapin kami, yung i-face off kami, Colonel Macanas versus Sister Jan. So doon, nandun na kami sa San Luis, Agusan del Sur. Sabi ko, this is the end of my career. Pero yun po naman, pupuntahan ka ng presidente, nireklamo ka ng mga bishop, wala na. The end of Colonel Macanas. Wala na. Relieve na ako nito. Na, bago papasok sa isang kwarto sa eskwelahan na magdialog na, may lumapit. Yung pala, yung PSG commander, si General Bangit. Bumulong. Bata, huwag kang matakot. Alam na ni ma'am ang pangyayari. Hindi ka maano. Nako, nagbigay sa akin ng lakas. Yung bulong lang na yun. Bata, huwag kang matatakot. Ha? Alam na ni ma'am ang buong pangyayari. Nako, tumapang si Colonel Macanas. Hindi nako, to. Nagharap kami nasa tabi ko si Sister Mary Jan, nasa harap namin si Jeme. Nako, para kaming bata, nag-aaway sa harapan ng presidente. Ang ganda sana kung nabidyuhan yon. Nako, I don't know ilang minutes yung usapan. Siguro 10 to 15 minutes. Nagsasagutan kami sa harap ng presidente. Ako, wala na akong takot kasi I've given up my military career. Kung i-relieve nyo ako, so what? Relieve. Kailang bumulong yung PSG commander. Alam na ni ma'am ang buong pangyayari. Tumapang si Colonel Macanas. Sinagot-sagot ko ang madre sa harap ng presidente. Ang galing naman ni presidente na, ano ba? Hanggang compromise. Okay. Yung detachment, hindi alisin sa Balit. I-atras lang, ipalayo sa populated center. Okay yun. Si Colonel Macanas, hindi marirelieve. Nako. Galit na galit si Sister Jan at ang communist movement. Galit na galit. So, wala na, nagdesisyon ng presidente. Hindi ako alisin. Ako naman lalong tumapang. But then, ito na ang delikado. The order is for me
Sabay mo, Nanay Marie.
dead by
Just
December of
indicate,
2005.
contact na lang, Nanay Marie.
So nung mga panahon yun, mga first quarter of 2005, January, February, dahil hindi ako na-relieve, ang order ng Communist Movement, specifically from Sister Mary Jan,
Kaya nagbakas ako.
is for me dead by December 2005. That's very sure. So, ang ginawa ng aking brigade commander, si General Maligalig, tinawag niya ako, Johnny, delikado ng buhay mo. Huwag kang magtiwala. Galit na galit ang communist leaders sa inyo, lalo na Sister Jan. Okay. Ang brigade commander, kailangan niya ng security, yung tangki de guerra. Ako, wala akong, I think may tangki de guerra kami sa batalyon, kailang ginagamit sa operation, hindi ko gamitin para sa security ko. So ang aking brigade commander, sabi niya, Johnny, I had to sacrifice myself. Ako, hindi naman ako masyadong kilala. Ikaw, kilalang kilala. Gamitin mo ang tangki de guerra. Huwag kang lalakad na wala kang tangki de guerra. Nako, I will provide all diesel. Huwag kang mag-alala sa diesel mo. Yun, since the time, every time na may lakad ako, may tangki de guerra na nag-aalalay sa akin kasi nga papatayin ako. Next, hindi na ako tumira sa aming battalion headquarters kasi namomonitor yung in out ko. Maambos ako. So, nagkaroon ko na ng safe house. Nako, ang safe house ko natuntun din. To a point na sabi ng aking security sergeant na, sir, delikado ka na. Ang lahat na aso sa palibot ng aming safe house, namatay, binitsin, basta nilason. Para kung mawalang aso, mas madali silang makapasok para tirahin ako. So, gano'n na. Sabi ko, Panginoon, bahala ka na if I die. That was siguro mga April of 2005. My life is yours. I have surrendered my life to you. Your will be done kung mamamatay ako. Ito na. Pag Diyos, pag ibinigay mo ang buhay mo sa Diyos, bahala siya, take charge siya. Ganito nag-take charge ang Panginoon. So, April, mga May. Paano niya ako iniligtas? Ito na. God's hand delivering me from that trouble. Papatayin ako eh. Mga May, may message. Direct Colonel Macanas to prepare. He is recommended to take the counter-terrorism fellows program in the National Defense University, Washington, D.C. to start on August. Wow! Papadala ako ng Philippine Army sa US, Washington, D.C. So to make the long story short, habang doon sana ako sa Agusan Surat, naghintay na patayin ng mga komunista. By August, wala na. Lumipad na si Colonel Macanas. Nandun na sa Amerika. And then, sumama ng aking Commander Julie. Nag-enjoy kami sa Amerika. Yun na yung kwento ko na tinulungan ko yung Iraqi officer na muntik kaming napahamak dahil cheating kami. Yun na yung pag-schooling ko. August 2005 hanggang April of 2006. So nung December of 2005, first time kong maka-experience ng winter, yung mga snow na wow, ang sarap. Nakita ko parang halo-halo. Gusto kong magkain, gagawa ng halo-halo out of that snowflakes. I don't know, ang misis ko, wag, sabi niya. Madumi. Ay, sus, ignorante si Colonel Macanas. So, habang pinagmamasdan ko yung snowflakes na nahulog December of 2005 sa apartment namin sa Washington, D.C., nag-flash yung mind ko, yung God's protection. That's how I save you from trouble. Salamat. So, what happened? So, after my schooling, bumalik na ako sa Pilipinas. Ma-assign ako sa isang unit, but General Maligalig, my division, brigade commander, called me, Johnny, don't report to any other unit. Dito ka, magpalamig ka sa Baguio, sa PMA, kasi by that time, PMA superintendent na siya. Ayun, tuloy-tuloy ang enjoyment ni Colonel Macanas sa PMA, 2006 to 2009. And that started the rise of my military career hanggang
Kanina,
naging
Martha,
general ako. So ang
praise the
tanong,
Lord.
anong nangyari kay
Nanay Maurice also here.
Sister Mary Jan? Nako, nung umalis na ako sa aming batalyon, sumunod yung battalion commander, si Colonel Tabuka, magaling din siya. Pinalo up niya yung case ni Sister Jan. Kinaibigan niya ang mga bishop, mga pare. Punta siya doon, nagpapaliwanag with evidences. Kasi lumalabas, si Sister Mary Jan, full-time member ng CPP, Communist Party. Tapos nagre-request siya ng mga pundo galing sa labas. In the name of the indigenous people, yung makatutubo. At ang dami nilang grant na natatanggap. Nako, yung grant na yun, kakapiranggot ang nakakarating sa makakatubo. At ang karamihan, pinipersonal ni Sister Mary Jan. Nalaman niya ng simbahan. Wala. Tinanggal siya doon sa area niya sa San Luis. Although hindi siya tinanggal pagkamadre, nawala na siya ng influence doon. Dinala na siya ata sa headquarters ng kanilang congregation. Hindi ko na babanggitin. At doon na siya nagpatuloy sa pagkamadre. And later on, na-find out ko, namatay si Sister Mary Jan, cancer, noong 2017. Oh, what a sad story. Hopefully, nakapag-repent siya, bago siya namatay, tinanggap niya ang Panginoong Hesus as her Lord and Savior. Tinalikuran niya yung paniniwala sa komunista kasi ang communist ideology is a godless ideology. Hopefully, I don't know what happened. May her soul rest in peace. So, yun lang po ang aking maikwento. Ito yung part 1, sequel to sa buhay ni Kadori. Abangan nyo yung iba pang mga kwento.
Dito tayo kay Enrique, pero ano lang, 6 minutes lang. Hindi pinayagan ang plano ng SRE na mag-angkat ng 300,000 ng susunod. Grabe talaga yan. Dito tayo. Ito kaya ito.
It can be dangerous out there. Buti na lang, there's locally superfoods with 3 kinds of fruits that are
Pagpagin ang pagkain ng mga sila tayo. Pero kita mo.
As a fitting tribute to our honoree, who influenced and
Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing the entry of an Egyptian science of foods who tendered the testimony.
Salamat sa pagkinos. Welcome. Pinoy OFW, Tamtas Host, Vlog Shoutout.
Good afternoon.
Dikitan yung nakapin para
This afternoon is special as we become witnesses to a historic tradition that has long been undertaken by the armed forces of the Philippines each time a new president is elected to lead the country. It is the change of command of the outgoing leadership of the AFP in the person of General Andres Castor Centino, the 57th Chief of Staff of the AFP, will give way now to to the incoming and the 58th Chief of Staff, Lieutenant Bartolome Vicente Orpilla Bacar. Also called the changing of the guards. It is a sacred military ritual and ceremony that symbolizes consistency and continuity in service, complementing the democratic way of turning over the helm of authority from one administration to the next. And like all military traditions, the solemnity of the occasion is treated with great respect and sensitivity, as it has always been. It is the perfect time to convey my utmost gratitude to General Centino for his exemplary service that he rendered as he faithfully executed the mandate of his office during the entirety of his tenure. He has been a source of national pride. General Centino's unwavering commitment to excellence and duty was duly recognized through the various awards and decorations that he has received through his professional career. 4 Distinguished Service Stars, Gold, Silver, and Bronze Cross medals, CSAFP Commendation Medal and Ribbon, Long Service Medal, numerous merit medals for combat and administration, several certificates of commendation from both the military and civilian sectors of society. And most notably, in his capacity as the 57th Chief Commander of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, he has been awarded the prestigious Philippine Legion of Honor for his professional competence and firm resolve to maximize the AFP's core competence, focusing on operational efficiency, internal security, delivery of basic services, and the optimal use of our resources. As a public servant who stood for meritocracy, professionalism, and accountability, he effectively managed the AFP by giving special credence and substance to competence, fair play, and justice in dealing with the ranks. Qualified personnel were selected for promotion. The placement of senior officers to key positions was deliberated upon. The AFP rotation policy was judiciously implemented. These were the guiding policies used to ensure good governance, and in so doing, effectively strengthen the AFP as a public institution that can last the test of time. He is a true patriot, a valiant soldier, an accomplished officer, a committed leader, an exemplary public servant. To General Centino, much respect and admiration for all that you have done. Thank you for your excellent service. A well-deserved round of applause for the outgoing Chief of Staff, General Andres Castor Centino. And as we bid farewell to General Centino, it is now time to welcome the incoming Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, Lieutenant General Bartolome Vicente Orpilla Bacar, a graduate of PMA Maringal class of 1988. He has held various command and staff positions, starting with platoon commander, company commander, administrative officer, intelligence officer, operations officer, civil military operations officer, and secretary to the general staff. Holding the rank of captain, he became the administrative officer at the Office of the Deputy Chief of Staff and Office of the Vice Chief of Staff of the AFP. And there are many, many more. As an Army lieutenant, serving as a commanding officer at the 6th CAA Company, 21st Battalion, 5th Infantry Division, he was initially deployed in Isabela at the height of the counterinsurgency campaign in the Cagayan Valley that lasted until 1995. It was this tour of duty that earned him his Medal of Valor in December 1991, the highest award for military combat in the AFP. Acts of courage and gallantry were abundantly shown during a 10-hour encounter with 150 fully armed New People's Army insurgents who surreptitiously attacked the town of Macunaco, Isabela, in February 1991. He was fearless in combat, and at the risk of life above and beyond the call of duty, he took on the most formidable foes, faced them head on, and eventually emerged triumphant through sheer determination and courage. In 2014, he became the Chief of Staff of the Army's 4th Infantry Diamond Division. In 2015, he served as the Army's Assistant Chief of Staff for Operations. From 2016 to 2018, he became commander of the 502nd Brigade, 5th ID, Philippine Army, and eventually the commandant of the PMA before he assumed the position of AFP Internal Auditor from October 2020 to April 2021. In the course of his career, numerous awards and commendations have been received, recognizing his exceptional performance of duty in both operational and administrative assignments. Aside from the coveted Medal of Valor, he also received 5 Distinguished Service Stars, 1 Silver Cross Medal, 2 Bronze Cross Medals, and 2 Silver Wing Medals, 9 Combat Commanders Kagitingan Badges, and 36 Military Merit Medals. The PMA Outstanding Alumnus Award in 1998, among others. In his capacity as Commander, Southern Luzon Command, Armed Forces of the Philippines, from July to September 2022, he was likewise given the award of the Philippine Legion of Honor. It is certain that we have chosen the right leader in General Bacaro to lead the AFP as it marches forward and undertakes a new journey that would eventually pave the way for a much improved and stronger AFP in the days ahead. I am sure that we will all now know that we have a reliable partner in the AFP under the helm of General Bacaro as we commence the difficult undertaking of rebirth and restoration of the Republic, transforming the country into a haven that is safe, secure, peaceful, and prosperous for all, present and future Filipinos to enjoy. This has been long overdue. It is time to get to work and be the best that we can be in our respective capacities as public servants united in purpose and in deed. As we look and think about a world that is constantly changing, a world wrought with conditions and situations that are hard to predict, a world full of elements and forces that can wreak havoc on its domain. The kind of leadership that you possess, the strong presence, the administrative and operational proficiency, unmatched discipline, and unwavering commitment will come in useful for the work that you are facing ahead of you. I know that you know well that the journey will not be an easy one. It will be sometimes treacherous, always complex. It will be difficult and at times seemingly unbearable. But with the AFP beside us, assisting in putting in place the fundamental prerequisites for nation building, we shall overcome and emerge victorious in the end. Together, a meaningful change in the lives of many can be realized. I know it can be done, and that is why we shall. Muli, maraming salamat General Centino at Lieutenant General Bacaro sa tapat at walang sawang paglilingkod sa bayan at mamamayang Pilipino. My hat goes off to both of you. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat at magandang hapon po sa inyo. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Thank you very much, President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr.
Yan, malapit ako matapos guys. 2 minutes na lang. Yes, si Marcos. Wala na. Tapos na yung balita. Kay Martha, dikit na yata ito. Tapos na. Yan, 1 minute na lang. Pinabawisan ako ng maraming simot. Yan guys, in na po ako. Pinoy OFW. Bukas ko na po ituloy yung ayuda ko ha, Pinoy OFW. Big love shout out sa inyong lahat. Pinoy OFW, big love shout out. Karina Marta Channel, big love shout out. Si Marcos, Tespa, YouTube, thank you for coming. Big love shout out, Tespa. Ayan. Moody Flower, praise the Lord, big love shout out. Thank you for coming. Mag-ina po ako, guys. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Ayan, mag-ina po ako. Si Marcos, maraming salamat. Martha Gagayan, maraming salamat. Big love shout out. Bye-bye sa inyong lahat. Salamat. Bukas po ulit. Bye-bye.